So just to address the questions about the code 6131, if you are eligible to bring your dependents from overseas, yes, you are, provided you've got the code 6131, and most times you get these codes with NHS. So if you're thinking of bringing your family from overseas, then code 6131 should be the code you should be looking at if you're looking at bringing them under the health sector. Like, we know that when you bring them under the health sector, you don't pay IHS fee, the visa fee is subsidized, and so on. But in today's video, there are so many scenarios in the new statement of change that was released in October regarding you and your dependents, whether you're in the UK or you're overseas. So I'm going to be sharing that with you in today's video, so you know exactly what to do. I uploaded a video recently and I got some comments and also some emails telling me that they were able to switch with their dependent. Some students were able to switch with their dependents to the care worker visa. It's code 6135, also code 6136. So we're just going to take all of that in today's video. So if you're someone who is interested, or you know anyone who is interested in such content, please do like and share this video with them, and also do subscribe to join our beautiful family. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. On this channel, I share contents about UK immigration, which I'm about to share one right now, live in the UK, scholarships in the UK, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK, like everything you can think about the UK. If you're someone who is interested in such content, this is the best place for you to be. So do subscribe and join our beautiful family. So without wasting so much of your time, let's quickly dive right into today's video. So in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing some scenarios in the new statement of change that was released in October. If you watched my previous video, I think I uploaded that video 2 weeks ago. I was talking about people who have successfully switched, and if you go down to the comments of that video, you will see a lot of comments. But now, even on TikTok as well, I uploaded the same video on TikTok and I got similar comments saying that people without children were not allowed to switch, and they gave the primary applicants and did not give the dependents. People were also asking as well if I know anybody who has applied without children and got the visa for both husband and wife, or dependent and main applicants, which actually made me to do more research on this to find out what the statement of change is talking about, the switch and so on. So for those that don't know about the care worker visa, I think on the 11th of March, the rule changed that if you're going to be applying for that visa on the 11th of March or after 11th of March, you cannot bring your dependents from overseas. You cannot even stay with your dependents in the UK. Now, a lot have switched with their dependents, and some have not been able to switch with their dependent. The applicant visa was approved, but the dependent was not approved. So there are so many scenarios in the new statement of change that was released in October. As you can see, for example, migrant A has been sponsored as a care worker with their partner and child since 10th January 2022. Their dependents can continue to apply as such, which means that if you already had the care worker visa, or if you have been on this visa from January 2022 before the new rules, you can still bring your dependent from overseas whenever you want to if you continue to be on this visa, even if you switch employer. Now, example 2, as you can see on my screen, migrant B has been sponsored as a care worker since 25th November 2023 but had not applied for their partner or children. They can make an application for their dependents to join them at any time during their period of leave. So for those that came into the UK on the care worker visa before the new rules, at any point you want to apply for your dependents to join you from overseas, you are allowed to do that. Now, example C, as you can see, migrant C has been sponsored as a nursing auxiliary since 10 July 2023 but switches to being a senior care worker with an application made on 15th March 2024. Remember, 15th March was after the new rules. Now, they have a partner who has joint responsibility for their children. Their dependents will not be allowed to make application in connection with their leave as a senior care worker. This is what they've said. So if you were on code 6131, which is for auxiliary nurses, and you're switching to code 6136, which is for senior carers, you're not allowed to do that with your dependent because that visa does not allow dependent. But like I said, quite a good number of people have applied and they have switched with their dependent, which you can also see in the comments of my previous video. And just in case you're watching this video and you were able to switch, or you're still struggling to switch with your dependent, please kindly leave in the comments of this video as well, so others can learn from your experience and know what they can do differently. And if you're also struggling as well, let us know in the comment section, so maybe other people will suggest and let you know what they did that made them got their visa. Now, Migrant D has been a student since 1st September 2021, then switches to being a care worker, having completed their course with an application made on 1st of April 2024. They have a partner and a child which Migrant D has sole responsibility for. Their dependent partner cannot make any application and would have to apply for permission in their own right. Their dependent child could make an application for permission to stay in connection with their leave as a care worker. So in this case, the dependent will have to sort for their own sponsorship, which means that the husband will be on a different sponsorship, the wife will also be on a different sponsorship, but the child may be able to apply. This is what is stated in the statement of change. But like I said, and from the comments I've read from all the videos I've uploaded, a good number of people have switched with their dependent. But the questions I've received and also the questions in the comments is, people are asking, were you able to switch without having children? Because it's like the children are the key factor now. Like for couple who have children, they can switch with their children, and for the ones that do not have children, they cannot switch. It's only the main applicant who is applying for the new visa that will apply. Then the other person will have to sort themselves. Please, if you have been able as well to switch without having children with your dependent, please kindly let us know as well, so I will also know, and also those watching this video as well will be able to know. Now, the scenario 5, which is example E. Migrant E has been sponsored as a care worker since 1st June 2023, but switches to being a senior care worker with an application made on 25th March 2024, which was after the new rules. A dependent can make an application. So the dependent of this migrant can make an application at any time because they've been on this visa before the new rules. So let's go to scenario F. As you can see on the screen, Migrant F switches from being the dependent partner of a student to being a senior care worker with an application made on 10th March 2024. Their partner can apply as their dependent, subject to course completion requirements. So for those who switched even a day before the new rule, at any point your partner finishes, they can apply to be your dependent. Now, even if you submitted your application a day before the new rule, or let's say before 12 midnight of that 10th, and the visa decision was made a month later, provided you submitted your application before 12 midnight on the 10th, which is a day to the new rules, your dependent can apply to depend on you at any time whenever they finish their course. One of the rules for students is you have to complete your studies before you switch to any visa. So if you have not completed your studies and you apply to switch, the Home Office will not approve the visa. So, but if your dependent have successfully completed the study and your dependent applies to depend on you, even if you applied on the 10th of March, as you can see on my screen, they can still carry on to depend on your visa. Now, Migrant G and their partner Migrant H switches to being care worker on 8th October 2024. If their children are applying for permission to stay or were born in the UK, they can make an application. They will not be able to apply for entry clearance. So this means that if you have gotten your sponsorship on the care worker visa and your partner have gotten their own sponsorship on the care worker visa, let's say you're working in different organizations that give you both sponsorship, and your children are already here or they are born in the UK, Remember, if your children are born in the UK and you don't intend to travel out of the UK, you don't really need to apply for a visa for them until you get your indefinite leave to remain. So it makes life easier for them as well. But this is saying that those children that are born in the UK and the children that came with you can still carry on to be your dependents. So let's go to recognition of previous leave. So as you can see, where a migrant has been granted permission as a dependent and the lead migrant changes job or switches to another PBS route, which allows dependent, the original permission which the dependent holds will continue to be valid. So in case you got a job as a care worker and you moved to the UK, your license was revoked and you got another job as a care worker, your dependents that came with you can still carry on to be on that visa. They don't have to switch with you. So all you need to do is for you to apply a loan, leaving your dependent visa to, except your dependent visa is coming to an end, then you can now renew. You don't have to renew for your dependent at the same time you're doing yours, just as you can see on my screen. So where dependents are already in the UK and the lead applicant switches to care worker, they will have chosen to do so in full knowledge of the dependent rules. This is therefore not a reason in itself to allow the dependent to switch exceptionally, unless of course they are children born in the UK who are allowed under the rules. Now, if the new permission granted to a lead applicant does not allow dependent, it will not normally be appropriate to cancel those dependents' existing permission unless there are other reasons to do so. Decision not to cancel does not mean there is any expectation of further permission. Once this existing permission ends, they cannot be granted permission to extend their stay as dependent if the lead applicant does not have a form of permission which allows dependents. So once their stay ends, just in case the lead applicant does not have a visa that permits dependents, the dependents will not be able to extend. They will have to leave. But like I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of people have actually switched with their dependent and they've confirmed as well in the comment section. So you can also try, look out for it. But another thing you can do, just in case you're married and like you said that it's only those with children that are allowed to switch, your own was rejected because you don't have children, guys, what you can do is to start looking out for sponsorship for yourself. While your wife or your husband has their own sponsorship, you don't really have to go back, because if you say you want to go back, coming back will be more difficult. So you're better off just staying here and start looking out for companies that will be able to sponsor you on your own visa. And at the end of 5 years, you can now apply for indefinite leave to remain instead of thinking of going back. Because I got a message from one of my viewers saying because his visa is being refused, he's thinking of going back to his home country. Guys, if you go back to your home country, it will be more difficult for you to come back. What you can do for yourself is looking out for sponsorship for your own self, and you can also consider looking at NHS on code 6131 or any organization that recruits on code 6131 if it is a health sector you really want to stay. Because one of the reasons why people are in the health sector is to make sure that they cut down the visa fee as well, and also not to pay IHS, which we all know how expensive it is. It's not bad for you to be there, but if you really want to be there, you can start applying for jobs with NHS so that you can have your dependents with you if you are currently going through that challenge. But like I said, people have switched, and people that have switched so far I've read are people with children. To be honest, I've not come across somebody that said, oh, I switched with my husband, I don't have children. If you're one of those, please leave in the comment section so I will also know as well. So those that have received their good news as well are those that switched with their family. Just as you can see one on my screen now, this person sent it to me, and him and his family were able to switch to depend on the wife. Have been on the visa before now, you don't really have to stress yourself. Let's say you came in last year before this new rules. Even if you want to bring your children in the next 2 years, you're allowed to bring them from overseas. Even if you have them here and let's say maybe your company license was revoked, you can still carry on to have them on your visa, because the rule was made after you got your visa or after you moved to the UK or after you've made your application. so you don't have to stress so much. But for those who have been asking, Fajira, what's the next option since I don't have a child for them to give me this visa? Start sorting out your own visa for yourself. Do not go back, because if you go back, it will be difficult for you to even get another COS that will bring you here. So you're better off just looking out for visa for yourself. And someone was asking me, do I have to write IELTS if I'm going for a visa for myself? Yes, if you don't have your first degree to convert to NARIC or ethics, you will need to write IELTS, and you need to write the UKVI General or UKVI Academy. So if you're one of those, start preparing for it. The good thing about it now is that if you write and you didn't pass one, you can retake just that one. So just try and equip yourself and apply and start preparing for it while you look out for sponsorship as well. And I hope you find one soon. So guys, this brings us to the end of today's video. Please do like and share with your friends and loved ones. And if you're yet to subscribe to join our beautiful family, please do hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you're going to be the first person to see that video. Until I see you in my next video, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.